Today, we're taking a trip to the Canary Islands, but we're not there for the beaches. We're there to see something pretty amazing, a quiet revolution in how we're training the surgeons of tomorrow. It's a fascinating story about technology, innovation, and it all boils down to one huge question.
How do you train a surgeon for the future? I mean, a future where the operating room looks totally different than it did even 10, 15 years ago. The game has completely changed.
Think about what it takes to be a surgeon today. The procedures are incredibly complex. They're done with what's called minimally invasive techniques, and the margin for error, it's zero. Absolutely none. The pressure is just immense. So how on earth do you get someone ready for that?
Well, that brings us right to the heart of the problem, the challenge of the modern operating room. The old ways of training, they're just not cutting it anymore. They're struggling to keep pace.
Here's what we're up against. Surgeons have to master these super delicate techniques that are way better for patients, right? But the classic training model of see one, do one, teach one, it's just too risky. I mean, where can they practice these skills over and over again without any real-world consequences, especially when the technology is changing at lightning speed?
And that's where our story takes a really interesting turn. Let's look at the answer that's emerging from the Canary Islands. Now, this isn't the work of just one group. It's this powerful collaboration, a real meeting of the minds. You've got the university's chair of medical technologies pushing for new tech in education. Then there's the Motiva plan, which is all about creating a hub for excellence. And finally, the Agora Foundation, making sure all this amazing training actually reaches the young resident doctors. It's like the perfect storm for innovation.
And right at the center of it all is the Motiva plan. You can think of it as the engine that's driving this entire change. Its whole mission is to build this stable platform for everything from research and development to hands-on, practical training in these super advanced surgical fields.
So how are they actually pulling this off? This is where it gets really cool. Let's dive into the amazing simulation toolkit they've put together to train these doctors.
Okay, but first, a quick primer. Minimally invasive surgery. What is it? It's a total game changer. Instead of big cuts, surgeons use tiny incisions. That means less pain, faster recovery for patients, huge benefits. But for the surgeon, it means operating with long instruments through these tiny openings, watching everything on a camera. It's an unbelievably difficult skill to master. So tool number one in their arsenal is advanced endovascular simulation. Now, endovascular just means inside the blood vessel. This tech lets doctors practice ridiculously complex procedures like, say, treating a brain aneurysm again and again in a totally safe virtual world. No risk, just pure practice.
Next up, they're taking things a step further. They're mashing up virtual reality with artificial intelligence. There's incredible work being done by PhD student Daniel Arias Ruiz Esquides, who's using AI to basically act as a virtual coach. The AI can watch what you're doing, track your hand movements, and give you personalized feedback to make your training way smarter and way more effective. And of course, you can't talk about the future without talking about robots, right? In specialties like urology and gynecology, surgeons are already using these incredible robotic systems for way more precision. So this initiative gives them a place to train on simulators for those exact systems.
And a key piece of that puzzle, the star of the show really, is this one state-of-the-art machine, the RoboSim simulator. The best way to think about it is like a flight simulator, but for surgery. It creates these incredibly realistic scenarios so surgeons can get their skills razor sharp before they ever step into a real operating room.
This quote from a presentation they gave at a national medical conference just nails their whole philosophy. Technology as a catalyst for acquiring competencies in medical studies. It's perfect. See, it's not about using tech just for the sake of it. It's about using it as a tool, as a catalyst, to create better, safer, more competent doctors.
So the technology is amazing, but what does all of this actually mean for the people it's designed to help? Let's talk about how they're training the next generation.
And listen, this isn't some far-off dream on a whiteboard somewhere. This project has serious momentum, and it's happening right now. I mean, just look at the summer of 2025. They held a big debate on digital transformation in May, presented at a national congress in June, and then, at the end of July, they formally presented the whole simulation program to the brand new class of resident doctors. This is real, and it's moving fast.
And here's the bottom line, the real-world result of all this work.
Resident doctors, fresh out of medical school, can arrive in the Canary Islands and immediately sign up for these workshops. Whether they need to work on general skills or highly specific techniques for their specialty, this advanced training is just there for them, ready to go, from day one.
Okay, so let's zoom out for a second and think about what this all means for the bigger picture, for the future of surgery itself.
This right here, this really gets to the core of the massive shift that's happening. The traditional way meant learning on real patients under incredible pressure. You might only see a rare, complex case once. But the new way, it's a completely risk-free environment where you can practice those rare cases 100 times. You build confidence before you ever get to the operating room. It's a total change in philosophy.
And that's why this is such a big deal. What started as this amazing local project in the Canary Islands isn't just a success story for them, it's a blueprint. It's a potential global model for how we should be training every single doctor and surgeon in the 21st century.
Which leaves us with one final and pretty mind-blowing question. Is simulation about to transform how we train every doctor on the planet? Looking at what's happening in the Canary Islands, you kind of get the feeling that future is a lot closer than we think.